You gotta wonder, how much can really change in just 2 days? Well, it turns out that in a small rural community, the answer is a whole lot. We're about to dive into a story about a community program that delivered some surprisingly huge results, creating a digital lifeline right where it was needed most. Let's start with this quote. It translates to, nervous at first, but willing to learn even at an older age. And honestly, this really captures the whole spirit of what we're talking about. It's that feeling of being a little intimidated by new tech, but having that powerful desire to learn anyway. I mean, who hasn't felt that way before? It perfectly sets the stage for what comes next. So, who were these eager learners? Well, the program brought together 28 people from the community. We're talking farmers, students, local workers, you name it. But what's really striking here is that almost 68% of them were women. That tells you this program was incredibly good at reaching women who were actively looking for new ways to grow their skills. To really get why this training mattered so much, you have to understand where it was happening. In a place like Barangay Laon, the digital divide isn't just some buzzword. It's a real, everyday wall. It's a wall that can block you from finding a better job or from helping your kids with their homework. Really, from just being a full participant in our increasingly online world. This program was all about tearing down that wall. Okay, so how'd they do it? The whole solution was this targeted 2-day training designed to build real confidence, and they held it right there in the heart of the community. So let's take a look inside and see how this program was built from the ground up. Now, this was not a one-organization show, not at all. It was a seriously powerful team-up. You at the Kalupa Foundation designing the whole thing, the Department of Information and Communications Technology providing the expert trainers, TESDA making sure all the records were official, and, so important, local partners who got everyone in the community involved. Every single piece was vital. And the training itself? It was all about being practical. No dry, abstract theory here. This was hands-on, focused on skills they could use immediately, like how to make a professional-looking resume in Word, how to track a family budget in Excel, how to put together a simple presentation, and maybe most importantly, how to use the internet safely, stuff they could put to work the very next day. So the program sounds great, right? But did it actually work? This is where we get to dig into the data, because the numbers here tell a really incredible story. First up, this number right here, 100%. Think about that for a second. Every single person who started the training finished it. And not just that, they all successfully completed their assignments, the resume, the budget, the presentation. That kind of commitment is just awesome to see. And here it is, the core result. On average, after just 2 days, participants boosted their test scores by nearly 4.6 points. That is a massive jump in knowledge and real-world skill in such a short amount of time. Okay, I know when you see a phrase like statistically significant, your eyes might start to glaze over, but hang with me because this is actually really cool. That little bit at the end, the p is less than 0.001, it basically means there's less than a 1 in 1,000 chance that this improvement was just a random fluke. So what it proves is that the training caused this change. It was real and it was powerful. And this just paints the picture so clearly. You can see the whole group's journey. They walked in with an average score of about 15. They walked out with an average of 20. It's just a clean, measurable shift from, I'm not so sure about this, to, okay, I can do this. But numbers only ever tell part of the story. The real story is always about the people. So let's hear what that big jump in scores actually felt like for the participants themselves. This person put it perfectly. The training will help them improve my computer knowledge for job searching. You can see that direct line from the classroom to a real-life goal. This wasn't just about learning for fun. This was about opening up totally new career possibilities. And for the younger folks in the group, the impact was just as immediate. Like this student said, this is a big help for my school activities. All of a sudden, things like school reports and projects seem a lot less scary, because now they have the tools to tackle them. And here we are coming full circle, right back to that initial feeling. At first it was nerve-wracking, but as it went on, you gain a lot of knowledge. That initial fear just melted away and was replaced by the confidence that comes from actually learning and doing. That's the emotional journey that the numbers can't quite capture, and it's so important. This might be my favorite part. One person said, I can share this with my relatives. And that's the ripple effect, right? The knowledge didn't just stop with the 28 people in that room. It was designed to be taken home, to be shared, spreading the benefits out across the whole community. So when you put it all together, the hard data, the personal stories, that ripple effect, you start to realize this wasn't just a lucky break. This was actually a really well-designed model. So let's break down the key ingredients that made it so successful. So what was the secret sauce? Well, it really boils down to a few key things. First, the teaching has to be practical and hands-on. Second, you have to remember that building confidence is just as crucial as teaching the actual skills. Third, by bringing the training right to the community, you get rid of huge barriers like travel and cost. And it all works because of strong partnerships and amazing trainers who create an environment where people feel safe and supported enough to learn. And that brings us to the big final question. This little 2-day program in one small community got these incredible, measurable results. It proves that with the right approach, one that's focused on community, powered by partnership, and centered on real empowerment, we can make a huge difference. It leaves you wondering, right? What if this small success isn't just a feel-good story, but a scalable blueprint for bridging a much, much larger divide for good?